Hello, besties! Welcome to Martinez with Eddie, your ultimate destination for all things Bravo. Join me as we spill the tea, dissect the drama, and uncork the juiciest gossip from your favorite reality TV shows. Guys, it's been quite the busy week for us Bravoholics. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, there's so much content coming out in the past few days that I decided that instead of having two different shows, I'm gonna pack the supersized edition with everything that we got. Because yesterday, Thursday, as I was planning my show, Atlanta decided to drop not only cast photos, but a trailer and the date of the premiere of the newest season. Also, we are going to be kind of talking about a little bit of the new spinoff of Summer House. It's called Summer House Martha's Vineyard. I'm going to just read you guys and talk you guys about the content of the show. Obviously, we are going to do some of the recap that we missed this week. We haven't talked about New Jersey just yet. We haven't talked about Vanderpump Rules and the Ultimate Girls Trip episode that just came out yesterday as well. So we got a lot. We got a lot to talk about. So I hope you're ready. I hope you have your drinks, your water, whatever you have that get you through the night. You know, have it ready because it's going to be a fun conversation. I wanna welcome everybody. Once again, this is Martinez with Eddie, your favorite show when it comes down to all things Bravo. Let's start with New Jersey because New Jersey it's having a moment, I believe. The drama has been nonstop. This latest episode was definitely a bomb dropping episode. And I said it before, even the episode air. If you go to my Twitter, I had the opportunity to watch the episode, and I said that the episode was gonna create a drama between not only the cast members but between the fan base of the show. Because as you know, New Jersey is one of those shows that the fan base is very divided. It's either one side or the other one. It's very rare to find a fan that doesn't align with one side of the with both sides of the coin. You either are Team Melissa or you are Team Teresa, or either you are Team Jennifer Aiden or Team Margaret Joseph. And now we even have drama between the two newbies. Now you either have Team Danielle Cabral or Team Rachel Fuda. So it's the drama was intense. And when I said it was gonna cause a war, it's because the drama, specifically in this episode, is when you actually start seeing the biggest gap in division between Teresa and Gorga. And I think the main issue is also the fact that at this point, us as viewer are kind of tired. I think this is a general consensus. I do believe that we as viewer have got to the point where we want to move forward with this drama between the two families because it's been going on for a very long time and it feels like it's never going to end. If it's never going to end, why don't we just move from it? Like, I know that Louis was trying to somehow mend the issues between the Gorga and Teresa. He tried in a very weird way because let me tell you one thing. One thing that I kind of found a little icky to talk about was this whole pajama gate. You know, the no pajama banana. I like Louis. I do believe that Louis is a good guy for Teresa. People keep complaining about Louis. People call him many things, creepy and you know, liar or you know, some people call him kind of like he's bossing around Teresa, kind of like controlling. I try to see Louis as the guy who's trying to fix what is being broken for way too long. And I think it's kind of hard for him to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's hard for him to get in a family that is already broken even before he got in. And I know people say that yeah, they were fine by the time that he get into this family, but were they really fine? Were they really okay? Did they actually have a time to heal from all the mess that has happened for many seasons? I don't think so. Because putting a band-aid in a gunshot is not gonna cure the problem. You know what I'm saying? If you cut your leg wide open, you don't put a band-aid and you call it a day. And that's what I feel like happened in New Jersey for many, many seasons. The fact that the Gorgas and Judases had this problem for almost a decade and way before that, because if we go back to the beginning, it's been said though that the Gorgas came to the show with an intention, with an agenda to hurt Teresa. That is what the streets say, and that's what many producers have confirmed the past years. I'm trying to be as objective because it's hard. Like I said it before, I started the show. I said it. It's hard to be objective when it comes to New Jersey because you belong to a camp. You either Teresa camp or Melissa camp. And I want to read this opinion right here because Aaron and I tend not to agree much on New Jersey and a couple of stuff, but I like to share people's opinion. She said, "My opinion now, still watching to have a full opinion, but I believe everyone is judging very harshly because we all love Teresa. Louis not perfect; he's a human, and I agree. I agree what Aaron is saying. I think a lot of people, especially." People who has been watching this show for a very long time are taking the judgment that they have on their favorite housewife onto Louis. Do I believe that the Louis is perfect? No. How many times we have found out that the house husband is shitty or garbage, like Lenny Hutchton from Miami. I mean, we knew he was not very happy in his marriage, but now we had that. Look what happened in Vanderpump Rules when we had Sandoval pretending to be this all cool guy, laid back, happy in his relationship with Ariana, and now we have him being a piece of garbage, having his girlfriend coming over when Ariana's out of town, the same house that Ariana lives currently. So I understand. I understand that that it's hard to give a guy the opportunity to kind of like prove himself on the show. And it's very interesting. I ain't gonna give credit to some people, especially Aaron. Aaron just mentioned something important. She said, I am camp both Melissa and Teresa. And I said it before, it's very rare to find people who can be both of them. Who can try to cheer for both of them and to be successful on the show. But she said, I'm not so much a Joe camp. And that is, a lot of people say that. And I've been saying that for a long time. I think one of the issues between Teresa and Joe Gorga is that at the end of the day, Joe Gorga seems to have an ego bigger than the show. It's like his way or the highway. It's him being the victim all the time. And I'm not saying that Teresa is perfect. She had said herself on the show, there's stuff happening, and I believe though that Teresa has not spoken enough about Joe Gorga's skeletons in the closet because she's trying to protect him a lot. Because if Teresa wanted to destroy Joe Gorga, like so many people say that online, which is kind of strange because the only person bad mouthing the other one has been Joe Gorga, especially lately. I said it when I went to BravoCon. He was the one who was trash talking Teresa. But if Teresa wanted to trash talk Joe, she had a lot of ammunition out there to use against him. Like how many alleged lawsuits and people who have not been paid by their job that they're doing for them, like construction and whatever. That's out there. That's not like Teresa trying to make something up about this. That's been on the news. That's been on the papers, on the bloggers, and all this stuff. And no, do not believe everything that is out there on the blogs because sometimes we had those clickbait breaking news, alleged, my sources. And I always laugh when people said that because 99.9% of the time there is no news and no sources. So just watch what you read. But when it comes to lawsuits and legal papers that are public records, you can easily look it up. You know what I'm saying? So that conversation between Teresa and Luis and Melissa and Joe Gorga, it was really hard to watch. That was the part when I said it's gonna be hard for fans to pick a side, or at least the side that already is, created, are going to look at this and point out the other side's fault. I do agree with one thing that Jennifer Aiden said when Melissa and Joe Gorga were leaving. She said that the Gorgas take any chance to make Teresa look bad. And I'm not saying in a way that people say, oh, Teresa doesn't need anybody to make her look bad. She can speak properly or she can form a sentence. But that's what it is, you guys. That's the point. They know that. They know that when Teresa gets upset, sometimes she just speaks in a way that doesn't come out clearly, and that can be taken as, people hiding something or playing guilt or something like that. But in reality, it's like sometimes anger just clouds your mind and you say something thinking that the meaning of what you were trying to say comes across, and it's not. And they know that. That's being manipulative. And I agree on that part. I'm still concerned about the whole pajama comment. I don't know about you guys. But that pajama comment was the only part where I'm like, Louis, I wish you didn't say that. There is a side of me that he didn't exactly mean that in that way. I'm trying to think that maybe he meant that he was trying to create a comfortable environment for the girls where they felt like there was a father figure because their Nono was their father figure when Joe Judas was not around. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm trying to get out of this whole pajama gate. It's just too funny because I don't want to wear nobody else's pajama, especially a person who's not with us anymore. Like Nono is gone, and I don't know. It just was a very left field comment that maybe didn't need to even be brought up in the first place. I don't know about you guys. I want to know your opinion on the pajama comment. I know it was a little cringy. It was a little like, what was that about? You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm gonna read this comment because that's exactly what I was thinking. Aaron, it says, the pajama comment didn't bother me. I actually think he was trying to make the girls as comfortable as he can. He willing to be uncomfortable to make them comfortable. that started to change my mind. There you, I said that. I feel like the what Louis was trying to say is that he's trying to bring that father energy into the house. That is very Italian. Even though Italian families are very uh, matriarch, like it's all around, the mother and the grandmother. The men are out there bringing the pasta and the meatballs and the chicken parms to the house. But the ladies dominate the home. That is a very Italian, pyramid of power. The ladies are home and they are like the voice of reasoning in the house. That's why when I don't know if you guys noticed when Joe Gorga was leaving with Melissa, he turned around and he said, "Thank you, honey, the matriarch of our family," because that's what Teresa is right now. Teresa is the matriarch because she's the older woman in the family. So he kind of did a little vow and thing, like he bowed down to her, like, but just being dramatic. That was just Joe Gorga being Joe Gorga, trying to have a moment. But he did have a point that Teresa is in fact the matriarch of that family because Nona is not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really hoping though that even though we know that there's no communication between them, that there is no desire of fixing this problem, there's going to be a point where they just either stop filming together or they at least try to be cordial for the sake of their children. Because at the end of the day, when families have issues, the problem trickles down to the kids. And we had talked about this in previous episodes where Gia makes a comment about trying to see the cousins. And I don't want to go back to that part because that part was kind of an eye opener to me when it comes down to how people see families. I saw so many people online saying, "Oh, she's old enough. She can go and play with them. She can drive. She's 22." And I'm like, yeah, but this is not something that's happening right now in this right moment. This has been happening for many years. And also, I'm 100% sure that the Gorga kids still need some approval or some permission from their parents to hang out with their cousins. And if they have an issue, that it just becomes awkward for the kids. I'm not saying that the parents are going to say no. I don't think, well, I don't know, but I don't think neither of them are going to tell the kids, don't play with your cousins, don't go out with them, they're bad influence. I don't think so. But what I do think is that, the lack of communication between the parents makes it hard for them to either want to be together, to like plan dates or go to the movies or go, do what kids do, whatever they do, play video games, whatever. That is what I take on this problem. And then the way that it ended in a very kind of like very dark, but not in the way like, oh, cancel the show. Because when we say dark nowadays in the Bravo universe, it means cancel the show. I'm not trying to cancel no show. I'm just saying that the energy that you saw in between those two families was so heavy that when Louis was just looking as Melissa drove away, I mean that was a moment to think about that. That's how this family was falling apart. Like at that point, there was no turning back. Literally, she drove away. There was no turning back. And even though there's still, more episodes to come, and you know that they're gonna be conversations, those are cracks created that are not going to be repaired because nobody is really thinking straight, and they just trying to defend themselves all the time and then point the fingers. One thing that I want to chat about New Jersey, another thing that I want to chat because this is important, it's the fact that Danielle is also tired of some of the ladies in the mix. I mean, she was trying to create a friendship with Rachel Fuda, and that's smart. That's smart because both of them are newbies. The best way, I believe, for the newbies to like actually, succeed on a show is not just aligning themselves with a strong OG character. I think if the newbies came to the show creating a alliance at the beginning, but truly, they blossomed into a true friendship, that is great. And I think that's what Danielle was trying to do with Rachel Fuda because she wanted that friendship. But then what Rachel Fuda does is going behind her back and completely twist the words. And on top of that, support everybody else's comment about her family. And I'm kind of tired of that narrative where Danielle needs to explain herself every episode. And people are saying that she's walking away from every conversation. But if I had to explain myself 3 times about the goddamn same topic, you best believe that I'll be walking away too, or I'm gonna be like throwing things. That's why at the party, at the previous one, when she was drunk, she was like, let me just go. Because she knew that if she talked to them in that moment, she would have snapped and that would have been good for her. I mean, maybe good TV, but not good for her as a person. Because we forget that even though it's entertaining to see people flipping table, throwing glasses and stuff like that, a lot of these people have jobs that depend on their image. And being painted as like hardhead or violent, and nowadays, you know, society is not so great. She has a kind of like influencer thing going on, and I'm 100% sure she's like, okay, if I lose my mind and I say something that I shouldn't, or I become physical, I'm not only gonna put myself in a position where I might get fired from Housewives, but also lose, the job that I have. And that's just me trying to analyze the situation. I'm not saying that this is exactly the reasoning of why she did it, but it's the reason that for me makes sense. But I'm really happy that somebody, it's definitely not afraid to know when to walk away. Because that is okay too. Like, we need to start normalizing that part too on a show. When you have explained yourself over and over again, and no matter what, people keep saying the Instagram story doesn't make any sense. Trust me, I'm pretty sure there are many people out there, people who are listening, including myself, the moment that we don't like somebody, the moment that we feel like that people doesn't add any value to my life, the first thing that I do is block their asses. Block them, delete them, erase, move on. I had done it. Not on my, let's be clear, I haven't done that on my Martini with Eddie platform because haters are fans. So let the fans talk. That's one thing that I learned in social media. But in my personal life, in my real life, my life outside all this Bravo commentary, I have blocked people that I don't want to be friends with them anymore, that I don't want to know about them, that I don't want to see them. So I blocked them. So the story, the that Danielle is telling that they stopped talking the moment that they block each other on Instagram because one was being a bully towards her makes sense to me. So I don't understand how these other people keep questioning her story. So I appreciate that she said, like, you know what, fuck it, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. You guys are not gonna believe anything that I say, so why should I keep explaining myself? And then, even though she was joking, Margaret just said, like, well, I'm gonna have to call her brother, and her sister-in-law and find some dirt. People said that she was joking. She might have been joking, but we never know in this reality TV universe who's trying to find new bones to collect and use in the future. It's not like the first time somebody has done that, especially in New Jersey. Um, and then Jackie, on the other hand, who has failed miserably to keep her job as a full-time, and we know now why, is that she's been trying to have a moment so desperate every episode, and she has been running into a wall. And this time was with Teresa, because Teresa said out loud what we already knew. I know she used daddy issues when it came down to describe Melissa and the reason why she's so controlling and protective of her marriage. I'm not defending Teresa saying daddy issues, but the problem here is like this is not something that haven't been said before. Somebody in my comments on Twitter said that it was a little weird to say that when her dad is not with us anymore, where her dad is not, here. As somebody who lost his dad, I lost my dad when I was 18. I understand what Melissa's trying to say. What Melissa said before in the previous seasons was that she had daddy issues. She had said it herself because of the trauma caused by her dad's behavior. And a lot of people online took that, the fact that Teresa said that about Melissa as oh, she's saying that because her dad passed away. And I'm like, no. That's two different reasonings. So let's not get it like messed up. Let's keep it focused. Yes, was really left field to say about somebody that you have daddy issues, like whatever. But the person has said it before herself. Melissa said it before in previous seasons, in previous episodes. We've seen it. I was not shocked or offended by it because somebody said you should be offended if you lost your dad at such a young age. And like, no, I'm not offended because having daddy issues doesn't come from losing your parents. Having daddy issues come from trauma, either from abandonment or seeing violence in your family or missing the opportunity. That does, and it sucks. It sucks when you have those because it's hard to work through them because the person, maybe especially in the case of losing your parent, it's like you don't have the chance to kind of like put an end to the cycle because the person is not here anymore. So you cannot sit down and say, you caused me this pain and now I have these issues that affect my relationships. Like I'm too codependent, or I'm too afraid of the person leaving, or I'm too demanding of attention because I didn't have that before from my parents. That's why I call daddy issues. You kind of want something for your father, you didn't get that, or or your dad was too violent, so you're too afraid that somebody you're with is gonna get too violent too. So all this stuff, I get it. So Jackie tried to have her moment. Teresa told her to fuck off or go away, blah blah blah. And honestly, there to me has been very interesting to see the process of Jackie coming from last season being very quiet and trying to be all about her eating disorder and her journey, which I was really invested. Even though I'm not a fan of Jackie, I have always said that if you have something that you can use to bring awareness and make people feel comfortable and represented and feeling like, okay, I'm not alone on this, props to you. I always said that, and I appreciate that from Jackie. But Jackie went from that point to a whole different stream, trying to be a mean girl this whole entire season so far, at least, and still didn't make it as a full-time housewife. I explained before in the previous episode that yes, there was people don't know who's going to be a full-time while they're filming, but we know that some housewives have that contract locked no matter what. Like Teresa's not gonna be on the chopping block. Bravo's not gonna let that happen. Even Melissa had her contract secure. Margaret had her contract secure. So did Jennifer Aiden. Dolores is a toss-up. But Jackie last season, you can tell that she was like, okay, she's not bringing enough. She pretty much, we can edit her out and still wouldn't have make any difference. So I'm just thinking that maybe she saw that and she needed a change to stay relevant on the show to secure her contract, and she didn't. Her contract went to Danielle, and now we know why. That was the end of New Jersey. So I wanna get to this point. I know some of you guys have been listening, and I want to know your opinion. Leave your comments, please, on my Instagram or my Twitter or here on the chat, because we just started. This is just part one of the supersized episode, you guys. And I hope you're having a great time listening, because now we're going to Vanderpump Rules. There is something about Vanderpump Rules that I really appreciate, is the fact that they are all true friends at this point. They were friends before the show started. They were working together, or they knew somebody and they brought it into the show, and that started the whole thing. And at this point, the main cast, or at least the cast that has been on the show for many, many years, are a strong cast. There was a scene. There was a scene on Ariana with Ariana, Sheena, and Lala, where Lala went and say, Sheena, your ass is looking great in those jeans, and they talk to each other like they know each other for a long time, to the point that Lala baby and Sheena's baby are best friends now. They're raising kids together. That's how deep this friendship is. Like Lala was crying in this last episode, saying that Brock changed her mind, because in the previous season, Brock and Sheen and Lala were in different places. Like they were going at each other. It was crazy. So Lala now is saying, I got to know Brock. The way that he treats my child is amazing. The way that he treats his child is amazing. So it's like a whole different person through her. Like she see Brock as a whole different person. And I said it last season. I'm like, there is something about Brock that seems to me that he is a really good guy, but because the way that he looked, like he's big, with the long hair and the ponytail and looking like a rugby player, kind of like, you kind of picture this like disconnected type of guy, typical like alpha male who doesn't care about anything, but he seems to have a very sensitive, welcoming, warm side. And I'm saying this because I met him during BravoCon, and he was super, super cool. I remember approaching him at the Legends Ball, and then at the rooftop party, the party there was the private party after the Legends Ball. I approached him. We took a photo during the Legends Ball, and I said, "Hey man, I think you're cool." Well, though we're talking, he was commenting on the fact that we both got the memo of having our shares open, like as like a DV kind of thing. It was a great conversation, and then I ran into him back at that party once again. We have a small talk, always engaging, always, and he seemed very happy to be there. interacting not only with his castmates but with the people around him. So I was like, okay, this guy, and he wasn't like trying to take the spotlight. That's another thing that I noticed. I always judge kind of like secondary cast, because even though Brock is dating Sheena, he's still not like part of the main cast. He's not like main cast energy, you know. Um, he was there having a drink and not bothering anyone, not trying to get camera time. He was just there hanging out, you know. I approached him, we had a conversation, and super cool, down to earth. So I said that to people. I was like, I feel like people were judging this guy just by the way that he looked. You know, like the way that he might seem to be, like on camera, he might seem quiet, and quiet sometimes can be translated as like somebody who's, you know, cocky or whatever. But anyways, there was this scene with the ladies at the restaurant, and they were talking about the fact that you know, they were having that party in the previous episode, and Lala called Rachel a baby prostitute for the way that she was dressed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. But that scene in particular had a moment where Ariana was defending Rachel in the confessionals, because Ali, James' current girlfriend, was invited to join them, and she let Rachel know that Ali was gonna be there, so her feelings weren't hurt. So the fact that Ariana was thinking about her and her feelings really really upset me, because I'm like thinking, girl, that girl is, you know, banging your boyfriend. At that point, they were banging. So to me, it showcased, you know, great character on Ariana's side, and more gasoline to the fire for me to dislike Rachel and Tom, because you don't do shit like that. That shit pisses me off. You know, when you are in a relationship, you have somebody good, and you do them dirty behind their back. I always tell people, if you don't like your partner, if you have issue with your partner that you feel like there can be resolved, just break the relationship before you cheat or before you hurt them. Because some people can handle cheating. Some people are okay with cheating in a relationship. Some people look the other way and they don't care. And people might say like, "Oh, that's crazy," but sometimes marriages and relationship are more than just love. They're businesses. There is money. There is stuff going on that if they break up, you know, things can fall apart. But if you are in a relationship and you feel like, you know what, I'm not happy anymore, just break it. Just break the relationship. Don't hurt the person. Don't hurt the person. Because that's what some people are not getting. Ariana and Tom were together for 10 years. And people keep bringing up the fact that Ariana might have, you know, slept with Tom while Tom was with Kristen, but Kristen was already, you know, also that relationship was already on the last, you know, chapter. She slept with Jax right after, so there's no true feelings. But they did, Ariana and Tom build a 10-year relationship with businesses, with a home, and all this stuff. So it's a whole different ball game. And even though they were not married, that was a decision made by those two people. Ariana didn't want to get married. Ariana didn't want to have kids, and Tom accepted those. You know, he accepted those rules. Let's say, you know, Ariana didn't want that. He said, "Yes, I love you more than getting married. I love you more than having kids, so I'm gonna stay with you." So using that as an excuse for some people to come here and defend Tom's actions doesn't sit well with me, because it seems to me like they're trying to blame Ariana for what happened when Tom was on board already. So let's not get it twisted, you know? Um, Also, in this episode, we see Sheena's bridal shower. I loved the part where all the friends receive her by singing her iconic song, Good as Gold, because we're good as gold. I can sing for shit, so I will definitely not be. I'll not. You will not. You yeah. Yeah. You're not gonna see me on American Idol for sure. That's not gonna happen. Or The Voice. The only place that I sing is in the shower because I put the music blasting, so at least I can cover it with the music. But they were singing that. That was amazing. It took me back once again to BravoCon when she performed. Great memories. Also, we see a moment between Rachel and Tom Schwartz where he's talking about his ass tattoo. You know that he has LVP tattoo on his ass, and Rachel said, "I'm pretty sure it looks good." And then Tom said, just like nonchalant, I show it to you in Mexico." Well, James is standing right there. There was a comment though. There was a comment by James Kennedy that I personally did not like pretty much. He said like, "Go hit the treadmill, you fucking," he called him fat, and I that's a little fat phobic. If you ask me, when you attack somebody's look because they were, I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me. But and it's not the first time that it seems that James makes a comment about somebody's weight. It's not the first time. So it's been happening way too many times. Even Rachel said that one of the reasons why she broke up with him was because he made a comment about about her mom being overweight, quote unquote. And that's really shitty. Really. They went to Mexico, and Ariana and Katie get a phone call from Lisa Vanderpump and her hottie ass realtor. He's hottie with the body and the face, and he can sell houses. Yeah, I was like, he can get it. Jamie, the realtor, he can totally get it. But the reason for the call is that the girls got the place for something about her. Yeah, the sandwich shop. I'm happy. I really wanna see them succeed. I think that Katie and Ariana have a huge, cool idea for their business. I want to see them succeed. I hope that they can move forward now. I hope that if the cameras are picked up for season 11, which I'm sure they will pretty soon because this whole drama with the scandal, I hope Ariana gets the time to not care about Sandoval and just focus on creating this business, because that is something that truly can push her to her next level. Owning her own business. Now that she's single, let's go. Let's go, Ariana. Your time to shine. It's your time to shine. And I think a lot of us truly believe that you deserve everything. She's a great person. I love Ariana. Still one of my favorite Bravo Labs ever that I have met and interact with. So yeah, she deserved the world. And talking about the world, we're gonna travel to Thailand. Let's talk about the latest episode of Ultimate Girls Trip. It seems to me that Leah's storyline this whole entire time is her period. I don't know if you guys are watching it. If you guys are watching it, please let me know in the comment section, because I really want to know if you already watched this new episode that just came out yesterday. But Leah has been talking about her period for the past like 3 episodes. And I'm like, I do not understand menstrual cycle. I'm not a woman. I haven't been with a woman for like a very long time. I have no idea. And that's what Leah has done. Leah has been talking about PMS. or something. And also the fact that she got her period because she got stressed out or bullied into it. That's what she said on the boat in the previous episode. And on this episode, Alexia said on her confessional, please don't blame it on your period. When she was trying to talk about the fact that Leah was saying that she was bored of, you know, Alexia talking about her marriage. But I think it's kind of rude. If you don't want to be there, just don't be there. Just go somewhere else. It's kind of like annoying when you are on a trip with your friends and there's always that person always saying like, I don't want to be here, this conversation sucks, or always being a Debbie Downer. And that's what Lee has been. If you watch Ultimate Girls Trip season 2, she's giving Vicky vibes. Like Vicky spent pretty much the whole entire season complaining about she came from a breakup and blah blah blah. But if you are trying to escape that and you only have a week with these people, enjoy the time. And that's what Leah's doing. Like, pack it up or go home. Like, everybody's tired. Even Portia was saying like just pack it up, go home. Candace put on a performance though. I like Candace's performance. I appreciate the performance. She looked really really pretty. She looked amazing, and Giselle was trying to throw some shade, making a comment about her dress, and I'm like, Giselle making fashion comments since when? Since when Giselle became the fashion police? Because last time that I checked, she needed to be arrested many times for the decisions that she made with her clothing. Many times. Many. We had seen Giselle wear the most horrendous outfits for many seasons on Potomac. So the fact that she went after Candace looking really cute in her kind of little marshmallow cloud looking dress, I think it was just hysterical. Another storyline that it keeps being brought up, and I'm quite exhausted, is the fact that Whitney and Heather keep fighting over this whole I'm on the church, I'm not on the church, you're a fake person because you are writing a book about being a bad Mormon, but you're still a Mormon, you have not signed your papers, and I do not understand what they're talking about because obviously I'm Catholic. And I walked away from the church, I just made a decision. I was like, I don't want to come here because I don't want to come here and listen to people trying to make me feel like my life it's not valid or making me feel that my life is based on a sin. And I'm thinking to myself, who are you to say was a sinner or not? But anyways, Whitney and Heather have been going at it because the first part of this argument with Heather has been the black eye. And if I hear one more time the black eye story, I'm gonna jump off my window because I'm tired of listening to these people talking about a black eye that allegedly Jen Shah gave her, but she doesn't have the balls to admit to it for some reason. I just wanted to move on. Like, be friends or not be friends, go to the church or don't go to the church. Like Candace said, like, I'm tired. It seems like they can just move forward. I did like my baby gorgeous Lisa Barlow made a cameo on this episode. I miss her so much on my housewife nights. I love Lisa Barlow. For those who don't know, those who are listening, I interviewed John Barlow. So if you haven't listened to that interview, you should go and listen to it because he dropped some tea from how everything came to be and how they joined Housewife and many other stuff, their businesses. a really fun conversation with John. So yeah, I love the Barlows. Very, very, very cool family. So I'm happy that she made an appearance. And when she showed up, this is the reason why I like her. She was not holding back. She was saying like Heather likes to lie, lie, and lie, and nobody hold her accountable. And even Portia was saying that too at one point when she was talking to Heather about this whole list. And Heather said like, "Oh, I don't care about that. Like, why would I care or whatever?" And Portia's like, "Wait a minute." In her confession, like the day before, you were making this huge deal saying that you care so much about this, that you were gonna try to do it right now, and you were trying to get out of the church, but now you're saying that you don't care. Portia's words said, Portia's words were, "You are a bad liar, not a bad Mormon," and that cracked me up because it's so true. I I'm not a fan of Heather. I always felt like Heather was the true villain of Salt Lake City. And this is why. She has been able to hide herself behind Jen Shah and make Jen Shah be the villain because she's more like she's more outspoken, loud, and all this stuff. But I always felt like Heather was the one manipulating everybody. And even Whitney said it on this episode because she said that the only reason why she went after Lisa Barlow on season one was because Heather brought Whitney to the show. And Heather made her feel like she needed to go after Lisa Barlow as like a loyalty thing, like a blind loyalty. And Whitney said, like, I'm tired of this blind loyalty because it doesn't make any sense to hate somebody or go after somebody just because you brought me on the show when we are supposed to be real here. We are supposed to be, bringing our life to the show as we are, but instead we are producing something just because you don't like Lisa Barlow. So one thing that I had learned, especially on this episode, is that Heather has been that person, that little master puppet behind the scene, trying to create stuff. But because she's like I don't know, she has like this quote unquote bubbly personality, like he this laugh and her face is always like it looked like a smiley person all the time. I don't trust those people. I feel like she's always hiding something. And Whitney says she's been lying about three things. She lied about the eye, she lied about not being a Mormon, and she lied about um, knowing Lisa Barlow. Because remember in season one, she kept saying that Lisa Barlow was mean to her in like college or something, called her like good time girl, whatever. And even Lisa Barlow like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what is this happening? And it seems like that was also a lie. Or at least the way they know each other seems to be a lie. The way the header tried to put it. So that's really interesting. The ladies were having a nice barbecue, like a Thai barbecue, and Candace opened up to Portia about the reasoning behind her not liking him that much. Because Portia mentioned comments from Monique about the whole fight. And it seems like they were trying to paint Candace as somebody who was trying to sue Monique to pay down her house or for a down payment or something like that. That she needed money for her house. And Candace felt in some kind of way. And they showed the clip. And Giselle seems to be trying to defend Candace at that point. I mean, I'm gonna give her that. Yeah, she was kind of trying to, but it seems like the conversation was also planned by Giselle behind the scene or something. That's what I tried to understand why they were like fighting. It was so confusing. But the funniest part is like Marisol look at Candace and she said like, "Girl, that was a fluff opinion show. Like it's not like a investigation news outlet. So don't take it seriously." And Giselle and Portia look at each other like, "Not a fluff opinion. Like is that a thank you or a fuck you?" I mean, Marisol was right. I mean, the chat room, that's not like a respected news outlet. That's that's barely a podcast on Bravo. That was only done during the pandemic and what's not. I kind of want that. I want the chat room to happen. This is my idea for the perfect scenario for the chat room, you guys. And I hope you guys support this and ask Bravo to do something like that. Bravo needs to bring a chat room with different Bravo content creators, podcasters, on whatever, call it whatever, including myself. Maybe I'm just putting the thought, I'm manifesting it. Like, Bravo, listen to the viewers, listen to the people who spend time talking about you 24/7. Give us the platform. Bring some content creators, like rotate. There's so many with great opinions. There's so many with different opinions that will make a great chat room type of show. Bring us, or like a couch. Well, I remember that the show, like on a couch talking about Housewives. They will put clips on, and you like comment on the clip, that type of stuff. And I'm pretty sure you have a successful show because every podcaster that I have met, they have a different personality. Every podcaster that I have met are very in tune with what's happening in Bravo. Every podcaster I have met don't get along with everybody. It's the truth. Some podcasters have their own drama going on, including myself. I try not to get involved, but sometimes I'm dragged into it as well. So if Bravo knows their market, they will bring this chat room back. But instead of having the housewife that we see all the time, and they have their own platform on their shows, and they have their own podcast and whatever, give that platform to Bravo content creators, and you have TV gold. I promise you that. They have a at the end of this episode, they have an amazing. When I said an amazing, it's great. It's awesome. Mardi Gras party, and it's organized by Giselle because she has family heritage from New Orleans. I liked that. I really enjoyed it. The decoration, the food, everything looked delicious. They played that game reasonably shady. They played it on Potomac before. This time they played it in with like questions if it's reasonable or it's shady. And one thing that I'm going to agree with Alexia, even though I agree a lot with her, maybe not with her behavior in last season, but I do agree with the fact that she said that Miami had the biggest comeback on Bravo. And that's true. They might not like it. They might not like to hear that. The ladies might not like to hear that. But Alexia spoke facts when she said that Real Housewife of Miami had the biggest comeback of any show on Bravo. They were gone for almost 8 years. And when they came back stronger. For the past 2 years, Miami has been top tier housewife. From the storylines to the dynamics, from the fashion, the parties, everything about that show, the way that it's shot. That camera deserve their own award because the way that they are filming Miami is almost cinematographic. It feels like a movie sometimes. So Alexia was right. Even though Giselle was trying to be shady, Even though Giselle was trying to say like, oh yeah, but you guys were canceled for like 8 years. How do you think, or how you can't say that your show it made history? I'm like, because she's right. You can't fight that. I think we all can agree on that. Everybody who has been watching Bravo for a very long time, if you have watched Miami for the past 2 seasons, you can easily agree with that statement. Yes, that is true. Let's talk about, now that we are done with the recaps, let's do a little, let's do a little chat. Now this is the part of the supersize of the episode, because I want to bring you some news. The first news I want to bring you is the fact that Housewife of Atlanta dropped their trailer and their cast photos for season 15. And when I say those ladies are delivering those photos, those kind of like Studio 54 inspired photo, those colors, the fashion. Bravo is putting all the stops with Atlanta. They also release a little type kind of like a reel on Instagram, like one of those like really cool transition type of video when they reveal their dress. Like they come on the stage wearing just like casual clothing, then just like remove it and it's like the actual cast photo dress. Amazing. Amazing. And we get a lot of drama. We have a lot of drama on the show. We also see OG faces coming back. We had Kim Zolciak. We had Lisa Wu. We had Dijon Snow. Cynthia Bailey's back. So that makes me excited. I know a lot of people who were complaining about Beverly Hills, and I said in my previous episode, I said it. I feel like people forget that these people are still friends outside the show and they still hang out. So it makes a lot of sense to bring them back in some kind of guest appearance, in some kind of like scene. It doesn't have to be 20 housewife. It doesn't have to be 20 full-time housewife or like 8 housewife and 20 friends of. No, it's having them come for an episode to hang out, have a conversation. Because if you guys follow all this lady, they still commenting on the drama on Instagram, on Twitter. We see them reacting to the episode. So it makes sense that they know exactly what's happening on the show. So why not bringing them to have the conversation on camera? I'm all for this. To bring in OG faces to the show. And it's not something new. It's not something new. We need to stop pretending that because Lisa Rinna left the show, they needed to bring guests on like to kind of fill her space. No, that has been done before. And I'm talking about Beverly Hills because that it seems like everybody who support Rinna somehow now forgot that in every single franchise they bring all the housewives as a guest. Even Rinna at one point was a guest on New York. Kyle has, Teddy was a guest for a Christmas party, and Taylor Armstrong was a guest for Lisa Vanderpump's tea party, which started the whole Munchausen situation. And Brandy was there with Kim Richards to start the whole Denise takedown about the whole one night stand, whatever it happened between them, which I don't care, and nobody should care about it. Because who gives a crap who's sleeping with who behind closed doors? And the fact that they were trying to use that, and many people look the other way when Lisa Rinna makes some homophobic tweets, but that's not my business. She's gone, so we're not gonna talk about her. But back to Atlanta. We have Kim Zolciak, we had Lisa Wu, we had Deshaun Snow, and I'm excited. Cynthia Bailey, I love her. It was time. On the show in particular, we have Candy. Candy, um, on her storyline, it seems to be that she's going to be EGOT status as a two-time Broadway producer and actress, singer, and now podcast host. She had business going on. She has she also gonna be supporting her husband and business partner Todd in his journey to Hollywood as a filmmaker. That's what Candy Bear's storyline is going to be. With Cherie, she's gonna be also heavily focused on this new relationship that she has, especially after being kind of, humiliated on national TV. If you don't remember last time, she was sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. There is also going to be a health issue as care. So that's going to be another topic of conversation, health issues in Cherie's life. Marlo, she's still an aunt to the kids. She's going to be also going into the dating part of her life too. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of family stuff with the kids and her own love life. We had Drew. We all know about Drew. Drew is going to be talking about her music career and all the stuff. But towards the end of the season is when the whole thing with Ralph falls apart, and that is going to be shown on this season as well. Sonia is returning. Once again, she's going to be talking about her businesses. She's going to be heavily focusing on her family and the challenge that come with it, which is fine. I like when Housewives bring that part of their life to us as well. We also have Kenya. Kenya is going to be bringing her hair care, story once again. We're gonna have a lot of Kenya love life as well. She's gonna be finalizing her divorce. Amazing. We also have two friends. Monier Shaw, and she's gonna introduce Kenya to her new love interest. And we have Courtney Rhodes. She's gonna be joining this season as a friend. She runs a successful jewelry design in Atlanta. She's been friends with Cherie for many years, so that's how she gets introduced. That is all I have on Atlanta right now. So as you guys saw, we have a whole cast. With two friend of and guest appearances in Atlanta. I want to know what was your first favorite part of the trailer, because my favorite part was when they show Kim Zolciak. I was like, here we go. Where's your scooter? That's just all that comes to mind when I think about Kim. Talking about the date, it's going to be airing on Bravo on May 7th at 8 p.m. That's the premiere night. So, check your calendars, mark that date, May 7th at 8 p.m. Real Housewives of Atlanta comes back on their season 15. And right after Atlanta, a new show starts on Bravo. It's the spinoff of Summer House. This is Summer House Martha's Vineyard. This show is focused on a cast of 12 young black professionals and entrepreneurs during their summer getaway. So it's an all black cast. I'm excited because, as you all know, I love Summer House. And I think Summer House needed like a spin-off with like fresh new blood. So I'm happy um that they are focusing on a different area. We have a new set of cast members. It was about time that it's an old cast where they show what they it, it it's amazing. The trailer was so fun. I think this cast is gonna deliver. It's gonna be filmed between Montauk and Martha's Vineyard. Um, yeah, I have faith that people are finally gonna be given the chance to non-housewife shows, because I'm a big advocate for Bravo's non-housewife shows, because everybody focus on those. A lot of the podcasters just talk about housewife. Um, there's just like a few of us who watch and really get into the fun of non-housewife shows, right? So I'm really excited for this. It's, once again, like I said before, it's going to be premiere on May 7th. Since it's a new show, I would recommend you to watch it and give it the opportunity and the chance to grow and to get to know the cast. The whole entire cast seems to be fun. Um, you know, the whole entire trailer is them having a good time. There's a lot of drama. The names of the cast, the house guests, the name of the house guests are Jasmine Ellis Cooper, Silas Cooper, Amir Lancaster, Jordan Emmanuel, Preston Mitchum, Bria Fleming, Alex Tyree, Shanice Henderson, Jason Like, Summer Marie Thomas, Nicholas Nick Arrington, and Mariah Torres. And they have known each other for many, many years. So they do have a long history as friends and family. So you know what that means. You know, when they know each other, they probably have hooked up. They probably have drama between them that sometimes they come out during heavily drunk nights. So if you haven't watched the trailer, you should definitely go watch it. Um, some of the backstories, so you guys have a little idea of who they are, is Jasmine and Silas um, are married. Are married. They just came from the they had a summer wedding, and this is like their first time of like going out with their friends, um, and traveling and vacationing after their wedding. Um, Amir, he's from Austin, Texas, and he's new to Martha's Vineyard, and he's looking to learn about his black history and connect to his root. Falls hard for a housemate. So we're gonna have a love story right here, you guys. Amir, and I saw his photos though. His photos, oh my gosh, handsome. John Emmanuel has been friends with Jasmine since their Playboy Bunny days, and still love to have a good time with her. Maybe too good for a time for Silas taste. Drama. Preston is from Washington. He's a black queer activist. Thank you for black queer representation, because I keep saying the same thing too. We see a lot of LGBTQ stories on TV, and they are mainly either white or very light skinned people, and that's great and all, but we need representation from all different backgrounds, because even though we are all part of the same community, sometimes best believe that if you come from a different ethnic background, your story is different and your coming out story is different, your struggles are different. So I'm here for Preston and for having a black queer activist be part of the cast. I think it's very important. There's also Bria Fleming, who's from Germany. She's in a new relationship surrounded by eligible men. Uh, but yeah, it seems like she is really into fashion. Alex is from New York, who lives a life of intention without drinking and tries to pursue his friendship to do the same. Um, it seems it's giving me Carl. It's kind of giving me Carl. He's trying to live a life without drinking in a space where people drink. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting. I mean, I'm invested. Shanice is it seems like she has a past. Shanice Henderson, based on the little kind of like synopsis of the character that I'm reading, she seems to have a past and it's gonna be brought up on the show. Jason, it's kind of like the person that they go to talk about drama, but he's gonna be finding himself being in the center of it. In Summer, she's from Los Angeles. The first time out in Martha's Vineyard, she is going to find herself, you know, flirting with everybody. That's what I think it is. Nicholas is a self-proclaimed style savant and who has outfit ready for every night. So I'm a guy who likes fashion. Great. And Mariah Torres met Jasmine in college. That's pretty much what it is, you guys. It to me seems like the perfect show to get to know people, to sit down and watch and enjoy on a Sunday night. So give it a chance. Go watch the trailer. Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. Trust me, I'll be watching. I'll be recapping. I'll be trying to get these guys and girls on my show because I have a lot of questions based on their little bios. I'm really interested and invested to get to know some of them. So you know that I'm gonna try to get them here so we all can get to know them together. Once again, Summer House Martha Vineyard premieres May 7th at 9 p.m. after Real Housewife of Atlanta. Last part of the show, I want to talk about one of my favorite shows on Bravo. I know, crazy. I love Southern Charm. I am a big fan of funny people, people that are a little crazy, people who maybe drink too much, people who maybe sleep with everybody. And all those ingredients are found on Southern Charm. And Southern Charm has finished their filming their ninth season. Can you believe that, you guys? Ninth season. Who would have believed the Southern Charm when it first premiered it was gonna last this long? But here we are, and I love the whole entire cast. Obviously, some more than others. Some of the guys, oh, rough, rough. But the women, the ladies of Southern Charm, to me are one of the most beautiful ladies on the Bravo universe. Leva, I adore Leva, adore. She has been so awesome to me, and I will always be grateful. Um, I I am obsessed with Madison. I love Madison because she is a firecracker. And I love Vanita. I think she is creative. I think she is very fashion, and I just love a girl who knows how to how to portray herself on social media and just be so genuine at the same time. So that's my take on Vanilla. But let's talk about season 9. We know that season 9 is gonna have some changes. One of the biggest changes of Southern Charm on season 9 is going to be that Catherine Dennis is not going to be a full-time cast member. Crazy, right? I would believe the cat. I always thought that Catherine was gonna be there until the show ended, but it seems like she's gonna take a step back and just be kind of like a guest on the show. So like coming in and out, whatever. Kind of like Whitney. Whitney had that transition and he did it really well. He went from full time to maybe just stepping back and just hang out with the guy when necessary. Uh, just like Patricia. I love Patricia. She's awesome too. We do know that she posted that another person who's not coming back on season 9 is Naomi. Naomi Olinda, she's not coming back. She also seems to be another person who doesn't have any connection at this point in the show. Last season she was back, and that was when I guess they were trying to bring him back to create some drama with Craig, but we all know how that went. What we have so far on Southern Charm is obviously Catherine Dennis being out. She confirmed that on January this year by posting something on Instagram, like the typical goodbye situation. It's also been said that Madison is coming back full throttle. She's coming full force. On season 8, we had a little different Madison. We I think it's because she was engaged. She was getting ready to get married. So I didn't feel like she was like fully invested on the show, like on previous season. Like Madison was a firecracker. Like, remember when she disinvited us to his own birthday party? I love her for that reason. Trust me. I I I I always believed that the guys on the show had gotten away with way too many shit because the ladies will allow it to happen because they kind of like didn't fight back, they didn't talk back to the guys, or they just walk away. Madison was not afraid to do so. It's like Catherine with Whitney and yeah, and Madison had that energy with everybody. She was going toe to toe with Shep, and he was not happy about it for a whole entire season. And then when Austin and Madison broke up, she went toe to toe with Austin and Craig at the same time. I will never forget the hot ass messy ass reunion where when Craig showed up drunk out of his mind and Madison was dragging him every corner and every turn because he was looking like a hot mess. So she's gonna be back this year. She has mentioned that she is going to be she's gonna show what she's been doing with her life, and now that she's married and all this stuff, so she's finally fully invested on the show. We also know about Austin and Olivia. We found out that Austin and Olivia broke up during the reunion. We found that part last year, right? So allegedly, I'm saying allegedly because I don't want to put any rumors out there. Austin and Taylor had a fling or something. It was said that Taylor told Olivia that it was just a kiss. But it seems like it was more than just that. And I still cannot believe that anyone will fall for Austin. Like, am I alone here? Am I not getting the charm? What is I and don't get me wrong. I mean, Austin has all the qualities of the type of guy that I like. typical Southern frat boyish, kind of like airhead and like a beta. He's not an alpha. He likes. I mean, deep inside, he likes to be told what to do, and I like that. I'm more like an alpha dominant kind of type of person. So I'm still shocked Taylor did that. Like what? I need to know. And allegedly it's messy. Allegedly it gets so messy that there's fights. There is a huge blowout at a party. So that is going to be good to watch. If you like Souther Charm, please leave a comment on my Instagram and Twitter. I'm trying to find my charmers out there because I don't seem to find them that often. And I like to talk about this show. I love Souther Charm. Another few the kind of like started at the reunion was Levas and Craig. The season finale, they had a huge fight. Leva pretty much was, removed from Sewing Down South party. The holiday party that they were having or whatever. But then Leva said that at this point that they're fine and all this stuff. But I'm pretty sure that that's gonna come back on this season. I have a feeling that there are unfinished business between them, and yeah. So far, we know that the cast right now, as we know, is going to be Shep. It's gonna be Craig, Madison, Austin, Leva, Danita, Taylor, and Olivia. And there are 3 new cast members. They're all guys. And one of them is a gay man, which I love because he has the funniest post on Instagram on his stories. So I'm excited to see that. I'm just looking forward to Souther Charm. It's supposed to be coming out in the fall. And that is tonight's Supersized edition, you guys. We've been talking about Bravo for a good long time, and I'm so happy that you guys stuck around this whole entire time. And if you like this podcast, and if you like my podcast and my episodes, if you're enjoying the information that I bring and the comments and the opinions, and if you like them and if you don't like them too, just give me a follow. I want to know about you too. I want to know your opinions. This is an open space. So as like I said before, leave your comments on my Instagram or Twitter as Martini with Eddie. You can also find me on martiniwitheddie.com. You can like, subscribe, and rate my YouTube channel and my podcast as Martini with Eddie. You can find my podcast on every single platform that stream podcast. So you have no excuse. I'm pretty sure you can find a podcast stream service to listen Martini with Eddie. And like I said before, if you're enjoying this, please subscribe and rate my podcast because that's how we podcasters survive. It's been a pleasure, you guys, to talk to you tonight about all this crazy stuff in the Bravo universe. And I really hope you have a great weekend because next week we're going to get busy once again. Okay, guys, like I always say every time that I'm done, let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Bye, besties.